You know that feeling when you had this gear or software for a while now and you really wait for a new update for that? That anticipation for something new to come can make us lose focus and sometimes even completely avoid making music with what we already have. This is something I've been experiencing forever now and most recently started to pay much more attention to it. So in this video today, I wanted to share a bit of my personal experience and also share some tips how I try to cope with that feeling. And to talk about it, I want to share a recent experience I had when I bought the Machine Plus from Native Instruments just a few months ago. I bought it as a second hand. It was a great bargain, so it seems like a good opportunity to try to take the experience that I'm familiar with the Machine Mark III and see how it works on a standalone, because I was looking also to make music a bit away from the computer. And when I got it in the first couple of weeks or even a month, I really had a lot of fun with that gear. I was making music, I was enjoying myself, making different beats and different tracks. But then after that, I began to pay much more attention to the cons and the things that were missing from the software and not so much to what was already there. And that led me to obsessively start to browse Reddit or even the different communities forums and just search and look for different clues or information about a new update for the Machine Plus, which of course no one still know if it will come or not. And not only that, I started to go back and look at all the reviews or even comparison between the Push 3, between Akai MPC, and instead of making music with this thing that I already have, I was just accumulating information that didn't do me any good and was not helpful in any way. And so I began to lose interest in Machine Plus, and it's been laying around and I didn't do anything much with that. And if I'm being honest with myself, what I was looking for, it was a justification for buying this gear. I was looking for some confidence in that purchase. I wanted to assure myself that I made the right choice. And I felt it was a bad choice because I was focusing on all the cons and the things that were missing. So that was really a vicious cycle that put me in that obsessive loop that I couldn't release myself and just focus on making music with that thing. And all of that was happening because I was thinking and imagining what I could have been doing if I had those updates that I was looking for, the things that I was feeling like missing from the machine. And so this is the point I really wanted to discuss today, is that I feel like imagination is this double-edged sword. Imagination is a great thing, right? It's the thing that separates us from the animals and the things that help us envision things and look into the future and build stuff, create stuff, and be very creative with what we are doing and solve problems. Imagination is great, but imagination can also be bad because what imagination essentially is doing is moving us from the present moment and projecting us into the future. Now, if we are able to control that future, that's okay. But when we are starting to imagine and think about things that are beyond our control, this is where it's becoming obsessive and not really helpful. And there is this one brilliant, simple concept I once read in a book in The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People by Stephen Covey. I read that a few years ago, and that concept is basically saying that there are 3 levels of circles. In the center is everything that is in our control. That is the circle of control. Things like our skills, when you play with the device, when you're doing something, that is in your control. The second layer of circles is the circle of influence. So for instance, I'm talking now, I'm sharing this video, I might be able to influence you with my opinion, with my thoughts, maybe. That's some sort of influence I'm able to control. But then there is the third circle, and that is the circle of concern. And that circle is all about the things that we worry about, but we really have zero control on. So something like machine update, I don't really have a control on that. I don't work for Native Instrument, and even if I work for Native Instrument, I wouldn't be able to push something like that. This is really beyond my control. So putting all my thoughts and frustration and anxiety on the future of something that I cannot control, that's the thing that hinder my creativity. That's not a good usage of imagination. Sitting here and thinking what I could have done with something that I don't have or I'm not able to get at the moment is not helpful. So what is in my control? I can try to go and rant about it in forums and in discussion. Fine, that's one thing. I can choose to be frustrated about it and don't touch the thing and hate the fact that I bought it. That's another thing. But is it useful? No. Well, maybe I can, try to learn how to code and hack the machine and modify it in a way that fits my needs. But that's not realistic and really not something I'm interested in. What I can also do is just sell the damn thing and just forget about it. And that's another option. But before I go and do that, I have to ask myself, these updates I'm looking for, these things that I see missing from this machine, are they stopping me from making music? Are these like critical bugs that not allow me to use this machine? Probably not. These are just nice to have things. And to be frank, the benefits, the pros of the Machine Plus are bigger than the cons and the things that I feel missing. Just my personal opinion. I think it's it's an excellent piece of gear that I can really make music with. And I have done music with in the beginning when I got it. So what has changed? The thing has not changed. It's just my perspective. It's just my perception of the thing has changed. And this is where things like mindfulness and trying to learn to be in the present and just detach ourselves from future that we have no control on can really help us to be more creative, to have more fun, to enjoy what we're doing. Try to achieve a flow state and try to focus on improving our skills instead of thinking about something that is beyond our control. And this is true not just for a piece of gear, but also plugins. I have all sorts of plugins that I stopped using because I'm still waiting for an update on. That doesn't make sense. Another point that I want to make is that buying a gear or plugin on the premise that it's going to be updated in the future, and then in this update I will finally be able to use it, that's a bad idea from the beginning. We really should focus on what is here and now, not on what could be possible in the future. Now, I don't know if my experience is something that you can actually relate to, but if you do, and if it's something you did experience in the past, my key message today is that really try to be in the moment, try to be in the present, and take some deep breath, look at the things that you have and evaluate them again for the benefits, for the pros, and really avoid making yourself obsessive about something that is beyond your control. I know it's not easy, it's something that I probably will continue to do, but just being a bit more mindful on that and just focus on improving our skills and becoming better at what we're doing and what we are actually has control on, I think is just a better mindset and a better way to live our life. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, and let me know in the comments what do you think about this subject? Have you experienced it? What is your way to cope with that? And what is your thought in general about this subject? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.